Hey, what's good guys, it's Zach here with Android Police, taking a look at the ever so popular OnePlus 3T and OnePlus's latest offering, the OnePlus 5. Is the 5 that much better than the 3T, and is it worth it? Let's start off with what we've got on paper, and basically, as always, some numbers just get bigger. You've got the newer Snapdragon 835 processor, the Adreno 540 GPU, there's now a variant with 8 gigabytes of RAM, that's more than a lot of people's computers, Bluetooth 5.0, you now have 2 cameras on the back, and of course, a slightly higher price tag. Now, while some numbers get bigger, others get smaller. For one, the dimensions. The 5 is ever so slightly thinner, weighs about 5 grams lighter, and the battery is smaller as well at 3300 milliamps compared to the 3T's 3400 milliamps. Aside from the curvier design, which delivers a more comfortable feel in the hand, improved microphones, the dual camera setup, and the fact that the 5 resembles another high-end flagship, the 5 and the 3T do have a lot in common. They share the same exact 5.5-inch 1080p AMOLED display, same blazing fast fingerprint reader with the 5's being a tad wider and a little more responsive, same alert slider on the left, charging port, speaker grill and headphone jack on the bottom, same metal unibody frame which is still pretty slippery and prone to scratches, but it's nothing a D-brand skin can't handle, however, and there's still no IP68 rating, sadly enough. But in terms of design overall, while I do prefer the feel of the 5, I actually prefer the looks of the 3T. I don't know, is that just me? Let me know. Oh, and by the way, that cheesy vibration motor was one of my biggest gripes with the 3T, but in the 5, they updated it and it's much better now. Just thought I'd mention that. On the software side of things, we've got Oxygen OS 4.5.1 on the 5 and 4.1.6 on the 3T, both running Android 7.1.1. On the 5, you do get some neat additions like a complete pro mode in the camera app giving you full control over the shots you take. There's a new reading mode that calibrates the screen to better enhance your reading experience, and basically the phone does its best impression of a Kindle Paperwhite. There's this new scroll capture-like feature called Extended Screenshot, and basically this allows you to take longer screenshots, which is a welcomed feature. And while the two phones share the same screen, the 5 does support the P3 color gamut, which allows the display to show a wider range of colors compared to the other profiles. And you've also got a couple differences in advanced settings like an OTG storage option, a gaming do not disturb option, and you also have the ability to choose your preferred Bluetooth audio codec if that's something you care about. So aside from a few differences here and there, there's no arguing these phones are very similar. They're both extremely smooth and blazing fast in pretty much every aspect. Bouncing in between applications is smooth and RAM management is very solid, by the way, keeping a bunch of apps in memory. Of course, the fingerprint readers are among the fastest out there. Juicing up the phones with dash charge is on another level. Being able to get a couple extra hours of usage after just half an hour of charging is great. Battery life is solid on both. Despite the 5 having the slightly smaller battery, I get about 5 hours of screen on time consistently as of now anyway, and scrolling, swiping around, and just using the phones in general is an awesome experience, and it makes you wish more phones could be like this. So yes, the phones are similar, we get that. Until you start talking about the camera. Or cameras, rather. With the 5, OnePlus decided to join the dual lens setup family. I will say that photos do look better than the ones taken with the 3T, selfies included. Not to take anything away from the 3T's camera, it still takes nice shots, but the 5's camera is just better. Now, getting to that secondary telephoto lens, this of course allows you to get closer to your subject without having to physically move closer, and you don't lose as much detail compared to zooming in, and you also get this portrait mode which looks to keep your subject in focus while completely blurring out the background, giving you that bokeh effect. It works okay, and at this point, I guess you can call it a gimmick. So if I'm being honest here, the 5 isn't a vast upgrade from the 3T. It doesn't have wireless charging, there's no IP68 rating, nothing flashy like that, but it does have the newer, fresher hardware. Simply put, if you already own a 3T, you'll be okay if you hang on to it. As of now, it's not even a year old, and it's still spec'd out nicely enough to last a long time. If you don't have either one and you're trying to choose which one of these to get the 5. Starting price is only $40 more, you get the newer specs and the better camera. It's still under $500, and for this price, really, what phone can say it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, the latest Snapdragon processor, and a dual lens setup? Exactly. These are both fantastic phones, but overall, I gotta give the edge to the OnePlus 5. What do you guys think of the 3T versus the 5? Let us know your thoughts down below. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. But anyway, that does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, shout out to D-Brand for supporting the channel. Go ahead and check them out in the link in the description. Subscribe to the Android Police channel if you haven't already. That does it for me. I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching.